Hello again, Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games here, and this time doing a sculpting video. This is partially from a request from a Facebook group I'm part of, so I'm going to be sculpting some Relic Knight bases. Step 1, gloves. The sculpting putties, some of these can be kind of toxic. I like nitrile, but you want something where you don't sacrifice your tactile sense, in other words, sense of touch. Latex is good too, but I feel nitrile breathes a bit better. Now for tools, I'm going to need a silicone folding bone. These things are normally pretty flexible. This one for some reason is not, but it'll do the job. I've got a pretty good sculpting kit, but a tool like this, if you only have one tool, something like this will take you very far. Now, technically the bone is optional, but it will help smooth this out. So I use epoxy sculpt and 2-part putty here. Equal parts. Let's see here. Just trying to guesstimate. I've got a small handful of bases to do today. Just so it doesn't get on my dirty work table here, which I really need to take some time to clean before I blow it off and end up with a anthill or something on there. Equal amounts of part A and B. The more of part B. I go through so much of this with my business, I tend to buy the bulk sizes. So I need water. Any old plastic glass will do, just need this thoroughly. And quite frankly, you can probably get a pretty good water cup for this. For included with most combo meals at fast food restaurants. Okay, this needs to be pretty thoroughly mixed. No lines, no marbleization, no discoloration, just one big smooth color. Then step 1, we're going to pick off a bit and shove it into the recess in the base. We're going right to the edge. This 40mm base is for Ameliel, Herald of the Void from Relic Knights. I tend to do this on Relic Knights and Malifaux models, so it looks like I guessed right. I'm going to take that bone, just soak it so it doesn't get stuck on anything, and just smooth that out. You can do this with your finger too, but you might leave a few marks. This will make it smoother and more flush. Okay. I'm going to get this step done first. Also have some Star Nebula Corsair's blowhards coming up. 2 bases of that. Let's try one that is a little more flexible. This stuff is fairly sticky, so just be mindful of that when working with it and around it. Then 3 bases for Suspect 7, a Black Diamond minion squad. Well, at least that's what she is in the first edition. We'll see what, if anything, changes when second edition hits us, which I'm sure all Relic Knights fans are waiting for with bated breath and infinite patience. And it looks like I guessed the right amount of sculpting putty, and I won't have any left over. This stuff basically becomes useless once it's hardened. So you either need to get good at estimating, or, which I typically do, keep a few side projects on hand to absorb any leftovers so nothing goes to waste, but that's just me being frugal. Making sure that gets all the way in there, smoothing it out. I may as well start with suspect 7. So, get my tool dipped in water. Let's make sure I'm on camera. This new angle, which was suggested by this Relic Knights Facebook group, is working out better for me than what I was doing before, but I still need to get a better camera. So I'm just carving a sort of circuit in, then carefully putting just a little node here, and when this is painted it will be a flat kind of gray with a, what's the word I'm looking for, a lighting effect done in the recesses. Sort of a power grid. And it goes flying. Oh boy. You gotta keep in mind that you're not gonna have the best grip with these gloves, but it's just a hazard of the trade, I suppose. You don't necessarily have to do them all the same way. Got a little bit of the putty passy. I have to just scrape that off there real quick and get my little node here. I'm getting very slippery. Just keep your tools wet with this material. Some people will suggest lip balm or Vaseline, but I found that actually messes with the putty and makes it more difficult to glue models onto it afterwards. Now for the blowhards, I'm switching over to a thinner tool. That did not get out to the base completely, so let's just touch that up real quick and make sure it's what I need it to be. That seems better. Now, different tool. It's a thinner blade. Make sure I'm in camera. That defeats the purpose if I'm not. And this I'm going for a wood deck with a, or rather a deck with wood paneling and some machinery underneath. So this, a grate, represents the machinery aspect. And we're just going to draw some lines across in one direction for the wood paneling and give us some cuts across to represent different boards. And just do little short lines across each board, not necessarily going all the way through to give that wood texture. And repeating for the second blowhard base. Getting that great. Diagonal lines coming off and across. And now for Emelials. So I based the void basing I do off loosely Disney's The Black Hole, which was Disney's answer to Star Wars before they, like years before they owned the rights in the 80s. So doing a indentation there and then taking the broad side of the same tool, a kind of cut like that, a curve. Just bisecting it and continuing that curved bisection repeatedly, essentially going, kind of carving up like you would a pizza, I guess. And based on this big cloud her kit has for her feet, a good chunk of this is going to end up getting covered up by the time I glue her on, but that is okay. At least I know it's under here. If you're nervous about something fitting, you can always press the part down into the putty at this stage. And that, get an example of each out here, is pretty much it. Quick and simple base inserts. Until next time, this is Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, signing out.